Volatility 75 price prediction and technical analysis. And as you guys can see at this point, we are indeed on the monthly chart. And on the monthly chart, just based on this price action, we can see that for the most part, we are likely to see price actually move further down to around this level. And the reason why I say so is because the market had given us this double top over here, which had a neckline at that point, and we saw price at this level over here breaking to the bottom side of that neckline, hitting back up to the neckline to give it a test, and at that level again we saw price move further down, right? So we are going to see price, as I said, move further down to around this level, and that is also because we had, as I said, this double top which started pretty much at this point, and ideally we would love to see it end in line with where it had started, right? So as I said, chances are we are going to see price move down to that level to close pretty much in line with where that double top started. I'm just going to add a neckline for that double top, as you guys can see. And the most important point at this point in time, or the most important area, is actually this area over here, because as much as the market had given us this double top over here, we also have another double top over here as well, which similarly has a neckline at that point. So I'm just going to add my neckline as well. Let's have a look. There goes our neckline of our smaller double top. Just bear with me. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. And as I said, guys, whenever we have these patterns, such as the double top, ideally we want to see price closing sufficiently below the neckline, and then in the future come back to the neckline to give it a test. And where the neckline is generally where we look for potential sell opportunities, especially if the neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So let's just utilize Fibonacci and see if that neckline, if price were to revert to it, would align with any of the key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. And here we are, and we can see that the neckline, which is over here of this double top, if price were to go back to it, we would find that the market would align with the, let's say, 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, which is over here, and that would add as confluence in as far as looking for potential sell opportunities go, right? And remember what I said earlier, that because this huge double top actually started here, ideally you want to see price come back to that level to close pretty much in line with where it had started, right? So there's plenty of scope for the market to move further down, right? However, having said that, at this point in time, I would love to see price come back to this level, and at this level is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, right? Anyway, from here I'm just going to head down to the weekly chart, and here we are on the weekly chart. And just to recap, guys, remember on the monthly chart we said that the market had given us this huge double top, and we want to see price hitting back to that level to give it a test, and at that point is where we may look for potential sell opportunities, because that area also aligns with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level. Also, it is now a very strong level of resistance, as you guys can see, right? But what else do we see on the weekly chart that we should be paying attention to? At this point, I don't see much really, but we can see that within this block over here, we seem to be getting some sideways movement, and that indicates that we may also be getting ready to see the market head up to that point. And that is also because, as much as it seems as though it is sideways movement, it also seems as if it's giving us a W formation. And double formations are very much similar to M structures, in that whenever we have these structures, these double formations, we want to see price again sufficiently closing above the neckline, and then in the future come back to the neckline to give it a test. And where the neckline is where we look for potential buy opportunities, right? So if you can just zoom in, we can see that we have an overextended double formation, and it has a neckline there, right? I'm just going to add my neckline for now. There we go, there we go, there we go. Right, so should price at this point in time close above this neckline, right, chances are we're gonna see it head up to that level. And as I said, should it reach this level, at that level is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, because if you were to go back to the monthly chart, you would see, as I said, that we still expect price to move further down to close pretty much in line with where it had started. Remember, guys, let's go back to the weekly chart. And as I said, guys, we may see price giving us a double formation and then head up to that point, and at that point is where I would look for potential sell opportunities. From here, I'm just going to head down to the daily chart, and here we are on the daily chart. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see. On the daily chart, we actually have this channel over here. Just bear with me. Let's have a look. We have this channel over here, right? And as much as I said that we have, remember, on the weekly chart, the W structure, which has a neckline there, it is still quite possible that we may see price, because we had a first rejection there, a second rejection there, and in the future we may get a third rejection at the neckline, right? And we may see price at this point move further down as opposed to moving to this area, which is where I said I would look for potential sell opportunities, right? And that is because, guys, remember, whenever we have channels like we do here, ideally we want to sell when we get a third rejection at that point, right? Yeah, so that is it as far as the daily chart goes. However, at this point in time, I also see that the daily chart had given us this W formation, which similarly has a neckline there. I'm just going to add my neckline as well. Just bear with me. There we go. And guys, as much as I'm saying also that we may see a situation where price gives us a third rejection at that point, right? The market may head down to the neckline of this W structure over here, only to bounce off of this area, and again to move further up to that point. And again, that's my strike zone where I would look for potential sell opportunities at that point, right? But right now, in as far as buy or sell opportunities go at this point, I don't see any. The best thing to do at this point in time, in my very humble opinion, is to rather wait for price to reach this point, right? And if it closes above this neckline of the W structure that we spoke about on the weekly chart, then I would then again wait for the market to come back to the area to give it a test. And if it does so, at that level is where I would look for potential buy opportunities. And if I do find any good potential buy opportunities at this point, my take profit would be around here somewhere. And at that point is where I would look for further sell opportunities, due to the fact that, remember, on the monthly chart we have that huge double top, and we saw price coming back to the area to give it a test, and we said we may see the market actually move further down to close pretty much in line with where it had started, right? But as I say, at this point in time, I don't see any opportunities, but I wanna see if price will reach this area, and at that point is where I may look for sell opportunities. And that is if I do find any good structures at this point, over and above the fact that we have this channel and we may get a third rejection. And as I said, if I do find any good opportunities, my take profit would be here. And at that point again is where I would look for potential buy opportunities, as I would love to see price come to this level, and at that level is where I would look for further sell opportunities. And if I do find any, I will hold long term.